It's Friday, and that means it's time to take stock of all the money that came into and went out of my life over the last 7 days. Welcome to the Weekly Reel. Hi, my name is Drew, and you're watching Ready Budget Go. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad you found me. And if this isn't your first time here, welcome back. It's good to see you again. This is the Weekly Reel, and that is where I add up all the money that I spent over the last week and compare that against my monthly budget to see how on track or off track I am. So let's start like we always do, or like I try to do, with the cash dump. And this week I actually have some loose change to dump into the change bag. So I use this little game controller coin purse to keep all of my loose change in. There's not a lot here, maybe 60 cents or so. So that is going in here. I am just kind of saving this for whenever. I will take it to redeem for a gift card at some point when it gets up to be enough money, and that's going to take a while because I don't spend cash like I used to. So let's set that aside. And then for paper money this week, I spent money this week, so I don't have quite as much left. So this week I've got 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, $23 left out of the $50 that I give myself. So I spent 27 bucks, or 26 and change once you count the coins. So I am going to take the three very prettiest ones. Not that one, not that one. Oh, goodness, they're all kind of sucky. Guess it's going to be that one, and I think that one. So those will go into my, what am I trying to say here? It's going to go into the other bag where I'm keeping all the money for the rest of the month, but I also need more. So I need a 20. So let's go into this bag, and we'll take out a 20. We'll take out that one. Okay, so $23 that I did not spend is going into, this goes into my gift fund, and that is, well, it's not really a gift fund. I mean, gifts come out of it, but it's also celebrations, holidays, anything like that. So that will go into that fund, and then I need to make sure that I have $50 for next week. So I'm going to keep this 20, and then let's do 30, no, 20, 40, 50. And that will be for the 4th week of October, and then for the 5th week here, I've got 20, 30, 40, 50. So that is correct. That's probably confusing as heck. So I give myself $50 a week in cash. I try not to spend any of it if I can help it. Usually when I spend cash, it means that I've had to go into the office, and I did have to go into the office this week. And just that one in-office day kind of threw me off my pattern, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But I am going to keep this $50 for next week, and that goes in here. This blue pouch has all the money for the month, and I've got one more week after next week. This money that I didn't spend this week, this $23, is going to go into here, and at the end of the month, I will take this money along with everything else that I didn't spend this month and put it into my special events envelope. So far, in October, I have not spent 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and 10, 20, 1, 2, $3. So these 10s are so gross, I'm going to swap them. I'm going to try to keep the nice bills for myself, and I'll probably get these 10s right back. In fact, I'm going to swap them for that 20. So we still have $50 in here. We still have $123 going into here. So everything is all good. For a long time, I didn't use any cash at all, or I used very little cash, or the cash that I took out of the bank, I spent pretty much all of it. But that has changed now. Life has changed this last year. If you've been following me for a while, then you know the whole story. But suffice it to say, I am now pretty much full-time work from home. And as such, I'm not going out to lunch every day. I don't have commuting expenses like I used to. And that has really helped a lot with curtailing my spending and eating more at home. So all of these are going to go away. And then let's get out the budget binder and let's talk about what happened this week. So in October, make sure I'm in center here. I didn't have any income this week. I will not have income next week as well. I take that back. I will have income next week because I will have my, actually, you know what? I won't. Because I will get paid on Halloween, and that will go into the following week because my budget weeks run Friday through Thursday. And because this is a 5-week month and the 31st is on a Friday, it really screws with the calendar, but it is what it is. So no paychecks or any other income this week and none next week. In terms of bills, I did have one come out, and that's this highlighted here in purple. That is the PUD, or the electricity. That was $51. It's barely legible because that highlighter was really dark. Planned for 60, spent 51, so a little bit under budget there. And then over here for stockpiles, $530, which was more than the $500 that I budgeted. And I will talk about that. Actually, you know what? Let me get out the little logbook here. So this is what I use to keep track of all of the savings challenges that I do throughout the week. And I do one page per week. So this was the week here, the week of October 20th. I saved $102 for Ready Budget Game. That's on Monday evening. And then $187 from Happy Hallowelth, because I'm trying to get that book finished. $135 in the Batman binder, and $106 in Paint by Sticker. Happy Hallowelth and the Batman binder, which is just savings challenges, are on Tuesdays, and then the Paint by Sticker is Wednesdays, and that is My Money Relaunch. So altogether, $530. All of these here are the challenges that are inside the Batman binder. So $530 toward my goals. $200 goes toward travel. That is just a slush fund. And the other $330 gets vaulted in my high yield savings account, and that is for the big move. If you've been following me for a while, then you know what the big move is. But if you're new, I am planning on moving to another state sometime ideally in 2026. I don't know which state. I don't know exactly when, but it is coming up, and so I'm setting money aside for that. I have a $15,000 savings goal for it, and I'm about a third of the way there. So that is that, and that is how we got to $530 into stockpiles. I call it stockpiles because, you know, I'm amassing this money for a specific purpose. It's not a sinking fund where I'm going in and out of it and, you know, taking money out as I'm spending it each month needed. This is a one-time goal, and I'm amassing money toward it. Next year, my plan is to do more sinking funds, one for household, one for clothes. Travel I've started, and that is like a sinking fund for me. So looking to do more of that next year, but for now, this is what I've got. Okay, I didn't add up all of the money for the wallet spend yet, but I will do that, and we'll come back to this page. This is just my cash allocation. I do this at the start of the month, and that tells me each week what I'm putting money towards. So here we've got the big move, $300 a week, and travel, $200 a week. If I go over the $500 per week, which I usually do, that extra money goes to the big move. Travel always gets $200. And then over here on the left, this is my wallet spending. I give myself $200 on the credit card each week and $50 in cash. And that can be on anything, but most of it realistically goes to food. There are some exceptions, and we will talk about that here in a sec. Okay, then we've got the cash flow, and this is just my checking account, what comes in and goes out of there. And this week, only one transaction, and it was the savings for $530 going to the big move and travel. So that is noted here. And, oh, sorry, one more thing. If you watch my other videos, then periodically I talk about why I use prop money, and that is because I send money directly from my checking account to my savings account. So I don't want to pull the cash out of my savings account, or pull the cash out of my checking account, bring it home, stuff it in envelopes, only to put it in high yield savings later and miss out on interest. It's much cleaner for me to do it this way and just use prop money in the envelopes to track how much I'm saving per challenge. So that's that explanation. Now let's go on to the monthly expense tracker. And here I enter in all of my transactions for the week. And this week was a doozy. So I had an in-office day, and I also went to visit a friend and stayed overnight near to where he is. So that was a hotel night. As I've said before on this channel, I don't pay for hotels. I use credit card rewards, but I did have an expense related to that. So let's just go through everything real quick. Lots of trips to McDonald's this week. And the reason why is because I didn't do grocery shopping. There are no Costco shops and there's no grocery shops here. So I kind of ran out of time on the weekend when I was away visiting my friend, and I came back and I thought, I'm just going to live on what's in the fridge and the freezer, and I will supplement with restaurants as needed. And so that's kind of what happened, or that's exactly what happened. So lots of those transactions here for McDonald's and DoorDash. Apple, I did have some in-app purchases. That has been rare for me, but it's starting to pick up now. So I'm monitoring it, and I'm including it here as part of this budget, but we'll see kind of how that goes. I'm having a lot of fun playing a new game that I'm kind of addicted to, so I'm tempering that as best I can. And then what else did I have this week? Okay, so I had $6 at the Marriott that I stayed at for food and beverage. I just needed a bottle of water and I think like a bag of chips or something, so that was $6. And then on my way home, I ended up getting a ride, so I had a Lyft charge here for $25. More McDonald's and DoorDash. Okay, and then the weekly cash for $50. So let me total all of this up, and then I'll plug that into the total on the budget overview sheet. So we had $946 and $13.21 and $28.38, $6, $24.90, $30.58, $946, $21.11, $946, and $50. So $202.56. So despite it being a crazy week with restaurants and being out of town and going to the office, I actually ended up spending less than my budgeted amount, which is good because I was significantly over last week. So I needed to come in under, and I did. So $202.56. Let me get out that purple highlighter, which is really more of a marker, but that's okay. Yeah, and it's a mild liner, and those are supposed to be usually like pastels, but this one is super dark. Okay. So that is for that week. And that is it for spending. So now let's talk about savings. So I just this evening, as I'm recording this on Thursday the 23rd. Get this out of the way. I just hit my next little milestone here for, oh goodness, I went too far. Apologies. I hit my next little milestone here for my subscriber count savings challenge. So I got to 630, which means that I need to color this in and save $50. But I didn't have time to do that. I was still at 628, 629 earlier today. So I will do this tomorrow, and I will transfer that $50 over into that savings account. So for now, that's accurate. I'm still at $3,100. If you're new and you haven't subscribed already, I'd love it if you would consider doing so. I will save $5 if you do, and you will help me toward filling in the savings challenge and chasing one of my dreams. And then, because all of this goes to the big move. And then the other thing for the big move are the books, the savings challenge books. This is the Batman binder. This is Happy Hallow Elf. This is Game Night. Any of those can contribute to this savings goal. I put the 330 in there for the week, and I'm up to 3,561. Travel is going to be at $600, I believe, because I only started doing that this week, or this month, I mean. So $200 a week, that should be what it's at. I'm not tracking that because it's a slush fund. I think I may need to track that in an envelope. And so I'll do that maybe sometime here next week or the week after when I have a chance to kind of go through all my binders again, because they've gotten kind of messy because I've stopped using some, started using others, repurposed some. So I need to get all of that sorted out. In terms of retirement, I am fully funded with my Roth IRA this year. If you followed me all year, then you saw me fill in this tracker with all of the cute little sloths for my sloth IRA. I will be doing a new one for 2026, but I am waiting for those numbers to come out. I do expect the contribution limits to go up, but because we don't have a firm word from the federal government yet on what those will be, I don't want to produce and release the sheet just yet. So it's coming, just don't know when, but I will keep everyone updated on that because once the year rolls over, I'm going to start putting money toward my Roth IRA again. So that is it for this week. Thank you so much as ever for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you and all the time that you spend here with me. It means the world. I say that every week and I cannot say it enough. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down below so that I know you were here. Subscribe if you're new and I'll save $5. And until I see you in the next one, take care.